I feel like Amandaplease.com was one of the first websites I ever went on when I was a child, and I loved The Amanda Show. If I remember rightly, it used to air as a double bill from 6 till 7 on Nickelodeon, followed by a double bill of Sabrina and then a double bill of Keenan and Kel. And I loved this show. Looking back, not really sure why I loved it, but I guess it just appealed to me as it did a lot of children. And because of the show's character, Penelope Tend, who had her own Amanda website, amandaplease.com. This is definitely one of the first websites I ever would log on to when I had dial up internet back in the glorious days of the early noughties when everything was easy and straightforward, largely unpolitically correct, but also largely unoffensive. And I thought I'd take a little trip down memory lane by checking it out on Wayback Machine. If you try to go onto www.amandaplease.com, today it will just redirect you to the Nickelodeon website. But I like that they care enough to at least create a redirect rather than just letting the website just disappear completely. At least it redirects you. But you can get onto Wayback Machine. There are quite a lot of screen captures. Today I'm just looking at one random one from the 3rd of February 2004. And this is the homepage here. As you can see, it says, "This day in Amanda history, 1994, Amanda plays miniature golf. Sinks hole in one through a clown's mouth." That was a bit of a mouthful. I like that. It means you're going to have to come back to the website every single day to see this day in Amanda history. I am not going to go through all of the screen captures, but that is something you could do if you wanted to. We need to talk about the design of the website. Nowadays, this is not the quality of a website that Nickelodeon would put out. But actually, it's very early noughties with the flashing lights and the wallpaper background. This is exactly what fan websites were like. If you created your own fan website in the early noughties, this is very much what you could expect. I like the fact it kind of breaks the fourth wall a bit by saying when Amanda's show is actually on in real life. Um, that's obviously in America. Something I did find with this is that even though you could obviously access it in the UK, it is very much aimed at people in the US. If you click on Write to Me, this is very slow to go between tabs, so please bear with me. You get this very garishly green background. If you try and write to Penelope, you have to select a state. Obviously, being in the UK, that's not possible. I don't know why Rhode Island has a moorland sign next to it. But obviously, I assume if I did write, I would have just made up a state. Well, I would have just selected one randomly. But I like that you can actually write to Penelope, who is a character in the show, and I think that that works quite well. It's a nice little feature. These little online contact forms. Everybody who had a fan website created one of these. This is the Amanda archive, and I'm not going to go through all of these, but you can see all kinds of different content. There is a lot on here, and presumably, if you went to one of the later screen captures, there would be probably even more. I love the fact that you can see some of the kind of highlights from the show. Meatloaf Crunch makes me feel sick because I remember the lyrics to that fake ad very, very well, unnervingly so. And if you're unaware of what this is, basically these two kids were arguing about what they wanted for breakfast. One of them wanted meatloaf. Who wants meatloaf for breakfast? And one of them wants cereal, so they decide to compromise and have Meatloaf Crunch, which is a meatloaf cereal. I'm really enjoying these kind of behind the scenes photos. I think that's something that's definitely going to make you want to come back and see more. And even now, 20 something years later, I still get kind of excited when I see the behind the scenes photos because it fills me with nostalgia, but I obviously don't remember seeing behind the scenes things as a child. So it's a very, very emotional look, actually. Um, Unfortunately, with the video clips, if we just go to video clip of the week, um, I'm a Windows person. Yep, so unfortunately the videos aren't saved on Wayback, but the photos are, which is really surprising because sometimes Wayback doesn't save photos. And I don't know why. I haven't got the technical knowledge to explain why, but sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, depending on the website. Of course, if you go to My Amanda Scrapbook, we have pictures of Amanda Bynes. You are now viewing the most important person at Nickelodeon, please. Let's be honest, Amanda was definitely a lot of people's icon. She's very, very talented, very diverse acting style for a 13-year-old, really incredible. Um, Here's Amanda with someone who actually gets paid money to touch Amanda's head. Yet the comments that Penelope puts on her website are very creepy. But I like that because it works very well. And it's realistic. It's what a fanatic would do about Amanda. And it makes perfect sense. And whoever created this, whoever wrote the copy for this, they've truly understood Penelope and what she believes in and where she is coming from. We have, tricky trivia at the side. What's this? Nothing. That looks like a very young picture there. Very, very young. If we go back home, you can see whenever I click on something, there's a new option at the side, interview of the week. I think by this stage, you could just get lost in this website, going round and round and round and having all kinds of nostalgia trips and really thoroughly enjoying the trip down memory lane. Certainly, if you went to the archives, which I'll just nip back into, if you go into the archives here, there's so much content. Obviously, I'm assuming none of the video clips of the week work, but I also assume that a lot of those are going to be on YouTube. There's a word search there. Amanda recipes. What do we have here? A quesadilla recipe, beef and broccoli. Ice cream. No, thank you. Are these just all quesadilla recipes? I don't remember this. I have no recollection of there being recipes on the website, but that's actually kind of cool. Okay, you have lost me now. Back to the Amanda archive, please. See, it's so addictive. I just kind of can't stop watching or looking at it because there are just so many little bits of nostalgia or things that I can't remember. Hillbilly Moment game, Judge Trudy trading card, Amber from the girls' room trading card. Were you meant to like cut those out and collect them? I don't know. Name that by part. Ask Totally Kyle. Do you remember Kyle? Totally Kyle was a very interesting. Amanda Libs. Okay. Block Blister. I love the Block Blister ones. Okay, I'm going to probably stop recording this and spend some more time looking at it. But I just thought I'd share this as a trip down memory lane for anybody who used to go onto www.amandaplease.com. Definitely was one of the very first websites I ever went on. Would have been the first URL I ever knew by heart. It brings back so many memories, and it's something that I will treasure forever because it meant a lot to me at the time. It was the beginning of my internet journey, if you like. Um, if you have fond memories of The Amanda Show or www.amandaplease.com, definitely head to Wayback Machine and have a look. Clearly, there's an awful lot there to explore.